In 1950, the world believed the combined forces of 16 nations could crush a country barely a year into its founding. They marched into Korea with the confidence of empires, armed with the most advanced weapons of the era, and led by generals who had won World War II. At the top stood Douglas MacArthur, America's five-star hero, certain no Asian army could stand against his coalition. But when the Chinese People's Volunteer Army crossed the Yalu River in the dead of winter, they carried no illusions, only the belief that survival meant fighting with everything they had. Their arrival was a shock. Within days, an entire regiment of South Korea's elite White Tiger Division was erased, its banner captured and displayed in Beijing as a symbol of humiliation. The Americans sent their 1st Cavalry Division, undefeated in modern combat, to restore the front. Instead, they were surrounded under the cover of night, their retreat cut off, their mechanized columns shattered in the frozen mountains. Survivors stumbled into the dark, leaving behind weapons, vehicles, and the myth of Western invincibility. Britain, eager to prove loyalty to Washington, deployed its pride, the 29th Brigade, with the famed Royal Gloucestershire Battalion. They had faced Rommel in North Africa and held their ground in Europe. In Korea, they were flanked, encircled, and broken at Imjin River, losing over 1,700 men in a single operation. The French sent their independent battalion, heavily armed and boasting combat veterans from Indochina. In 3 separate clashes, they were defeated every time, their casualties surpassing the unit's original size after reinforcements were wiped out. Australia's soldiers, famed for brutal bayonet fighting, found themselves on a hill south of the Imjin River, where 30 Chinese volunteers fought over 1,000 Australians in close combat, leaving dozens dead or wounded for the loss of only 5 of their own. Even Turkey's contingent suffered disaster, ambushed in their bunkers after mistakenly firing on South Korean allies. By the war's end, the so-called elite units of the United States, Britain, France, Australia, Turkey, the Netherlands, Canada, Luxembourg, and others no longer existed in their original form. They had been dismantled piece by an army that entered the war with mismatched rifles, cotton uniforms and sub-zero snow, and almost no air cover. The victories were not accidents. They were the product of discipline, mobility, and the willingness to fight at impossible odds. For the West, Korea became the place where the legend of military superiority died. For China, it forged a truth that still echoes. No matter how powerful the enemy, the red flag on the battlefield will not fall.